Oh, what's up? It's Friday. Let's go through the market, see what's going on, get everything all set up here. Gold rallied up to 93 yesterday, so let's see what's going on. Yesterday we had a mixed close, and then pre-markets flipping the risk on slightly. Gold ripped, and gold's continuing. This morning, XOP oil was up alongside GDX, and let's see here. XLK was down. We're seeing that flip pre-market. Most on thin volume on the sector rotation, and then GDX is continuing in high volume pre-market alongside OIH and XBI. Let's see, OIH. Oh, well, XBI. Biotech. Yep. Saw biotech move, slam past that line in the sand there, coming back down, higher volume. It's not that great. And then if we look at our XLV, XLV and all these names that we saw when the long yields got pushed, basically round tripped. It's pretty wild. But if you look, gold held its value, and as well as oil. So I'm not seeing that as I'm really just seeing that as like inflation repricing, not a recession bid. Oil premium is still there. Brent's at 93. We have the the term premium repricing on this stuff, and then we're just waiting for like a hawkish wash at the Jackson Hole or some sort of hot print pushing real yields decisively higher, or the Hormuz Iran de-escalation. So we got a lot of potential flips coming on here. But our XLE GLD bet is still on the table. And we haven't had a sign to sell on that. XLF is flipping a touch here. And that did stop us out on our BAC entry. But at this point, things are kind of turning over. TLT went down, but it's flipping up. So, feeling pretty good on that mixed market review. XLE and XLK is favored. XLK. Okay. Need to make a watch list of just sectors that will help me out. So we'll do that later. And then what else we got? The VIX is at like 16 or something. So nobody's worried, nobody's scared. 15.4. Not too bad. Let's go through any news we have today. Really just manufacturing PMI, consumer confidence, Trump speaking at 7. Gross. Okay. Cool. 6 months of war. Let's go through our trades. We got into PK yesterday on a consolidation validator there. Stop just below that, lower volume, pushing out on the next day. So let's see. Lower volume, bottom wick, pushing up, previous high. IHI, high volume heading down there. Stop way below that 20-day. It's higher volume than that push down. So I'm going to move this up just a touch here. IEFA. Pre-market full slammed up. Is that right? It's interesting. We always see this move crazy in pre-market, but we're just going to assume what we're getting from our data provider is correct. Did we have, what was this? Okay. Did we ever move this or what? Okay, so we have not moved our stop before. Yeah, this is original stop. That's interesting. Okay, well, we're going to start moving this guy up a touch. So we're going to move it right underneath that breakout candle. The August 4th breakout candle. Yesterday, low volume up thrust. Pre-market 101.25. Okay. Interesting. Okay, path 12% on this guy, but it's unrealized. The stop's at break even as this thing just continues to kind of consolidate there. ECO, low volume indecisive candle sitting flat. EUFN. I can stop that on this. It's just lowering volume. IQLT. We got kind of a low volume and up thrust. Okay. EPOL. 20 days catching up to our stop. This is just dancing around. Man. Okay, we're finally getting some flight here and it's on low volume. And we're below our fill. We're still raising up. That was an indecisive candle that day. Okay. That's it. Moving forward, I'm just going to be doing probably consolidation plays. We have, this is this man is like the last high tight, and I called this out a while back. I've been doing a lot of high tight flags. They're great, but my true passion is consolidator. I like the rectangle setups, so that's what we're going to start looking for. An example of that is like Geo. This thing is just consolidating around key levels. I guess before the bank sell off, that would have been like PNC. So this is why we have a line in the sand and then we wait for confirmation. Previously, I would just put these lines in the sand and just hope for it. And then stuff like this would happen with PNC. It would fill, you try to get that early breakout, and then some sort of macro event would happen, such as the banking, QE, long yield stuff, and then boom, banks are out of favor. So just going to start leaning in on the consolidator plays. Like another one this morning that showed up on the watch list is KMX, CarMax. High volume, slightly closing above, but I'd wait for this as another day and then we'd go from there. So interesting setups. This is what works for me. I'm going to continue to hone this for the next couple months, and that's what we'll be following most likely. Within SignalDeck, I'm really only going to track the consolidators. I have different strategies, and I don't require them. I don't need to go through these on the live stream. The other ones, rather. But I'm going to just do the consolidator setups on the live streams. Everything else gets handled before the markets. I come in at about 7, and I'm finished with all my market stuff by about 10 a.m. You get a peek of what that is, what that looks like on these live streams when I just go through the book and use SignalDeck to walk through everything. Let's go through the runs and see what's popping. FCX, we have that on the watch list, and that's up pretty big pre-market. Yesterday had a massive volume pushing out through that zone. We had a 73.15 level on FSX. We've been seeing this pop off on X. We've been watching this for a while. This is basically it's been consolidating for the entire year, so it's showing up on leadership. AMLX, this is hilarious. Okay, so we have an AMLX position. It's not in this morning live stream, but we got in pretty late on the pullback, but I was wanting to buy in on strength on that, and now we're consolidating around the November 22, January 23 levels, so it's pretty historic levels there. And yesterday was still high volume on AMLX, so pretty good to watch this. We had a position enter on 33.55, and then another on strength position on 37.34. We are seeing some sellers show up, but overall this is still filling on high volume here. If we scroll back to the monthly, so this is where I would probably not want to hang out for a while. Sure, we got this crazy bar, but we're fighting November 2022 levels and January. So basically from October of 2022 all the way to February of 2023, 6 months time frame that this couldn't break. I don't really want to hang out and hold this. I just want to get my shekels and move on. So this is still double the volume on monthly, and it may run, but I'd love to just pull some profit off this and move it into the other crazy setups that we're seeing going off this morning and next week. So we'll watch this in the morning and see if we can get out in a good position there. So it's funny that it's showing up on leadership. After years and years in there, you'll just start realize you will start remembering all these tickers. Bull flag breakout. I don't play this anymore, but it's just always good to see this. This is a real good setup on average volume, though. That's interesting. High volume, basically full. Not that crazy volume, but extremely up pre-market. Valaris. Okay. VSA, no supply, power trend, Geo is showing up on power trend. That's crazy. So we just looked at power. We just looked at Geo. This is one of my favorite setups. We have a line in the sand on this. We'd probably add 3%. So is it 32? 3% would be what is that? It's probably like $6 or something. Blah blah blah. 33.08. Yeah, math is not my strong point. Okay. And it's a tight range. And then you're just going to hit another level of resistance at January levels. But when you see various strategies that may or may not work, but they work in some degree, and they start showing up, it's interesting. So BITB, Bitcoin, obviously. You've heard of that. It's going big on this. Crowded trade. I guess if you had a buy stop on this, you would have got in, yesterday at the close or something, or just the next day. But, this is too late for us. If this actually is a change from the year-long markdown, we'll see that after the 44, 42 levels. Yeah, just more energy, which we're pretty heavy in energy already, so I don't need to deal with that too much. So we're just seeing energy across the board, which is understandable. Let's go through some of these tickers and then we'll call it. This is another reason why you set the levels and then you wait for confirmation. AIR, this looked fantastic. This was a bull flag breakout. It just didn't cut it. And we're not going to watch that anymore. Bristol Myers. CVS is continuing to distribute, most likely. And I got this GitLab watcher, but I don't even know if this is needed. Okay, so ICE is. It's on high volume too. Yeah. It's just a weird chart. JCI, this is another one that we had the line in the sand thinking it was going to go, and it just didn't. NVIDIA's bouncing on low volume at the 20-day. That's interesting. Novo. PK is up pre-market. That's good. Energy. Energy did fill that line on SM. That's a potential good one. Visa, Walmart. And we're back to the top. Gold showing further strength, 14 million. So it's high volume yesterday. It opened very low too, so we missed our pullback. But we still have a starter position on this, and we're going to watch this work its way to the 43.6 level. So, okay. What we're doing is we got a couple signals we're going to look at. Got some confirmations. I'm going to look into the commodity topic this morning, and got a couple buy orders to put in. Going to watch AMLX, try to offload that guy, and then yeah, just so much going on. Have a good weekend.